are live. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Space Game Junkie podcast. I, as always, am your co-host, Brian, and joining me, as always, is your co-host, Jim.
Newly patched and happy.
And your co-host, Hunter.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Oh, my God. And your co-host, Spaz.
Hunter aged a lot in the last warp.
I am here in spirit.
And also joining us to talk about our topic tonight, formerly known as Teeth, now Tenacity. I can't...
The gamer formerly known as Teeth.
The gamer formerly known as Teeth.
You just call me Dennis.
Dennis. You know, it's going to be weird for me because my father-in-law is also Dennis, so that's going to be a little strange. Just FYI. So, folks, Elite Dangerous is our topic this evening. It just dropped their first Beyond patch. They're calling it, Beyond Episode 1? Right? I believe. And and that just dropped today.
I kind of looked at it like Star Trek Beyond Episode 1.
Yeah, it's kind of like Horizons Beyond Episode 1. Like, what?
Have you tried the mushroom drive yet? I think it's excellent.
Spore drive?
Yeah.
No, I don't want things injected into my arms. Thank you.
Waiter, spore drive for everyone. Put it on my tab.
So, folks, if you're just listening to the audio version, we're actually going to be playing this game live tonight. You might want to watch the YouTubes or the Twitches instead. Just to get a better idea, because we're going to be doing some wing missions. That's a new thing. With this new patch.
I have a question right off the bat.
Hit me.
Can you multi-crew and be in a wing?
No. In fact, it counts multi-crew members as wing members, so you get 4 people of any combo.
Oh, Multicrew could only have 3.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if you have 3 people, that's you and 2 people in your ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would count as 3, and then you get 1 wingman.
Right. So, folks, if you listen to this podcast often enough, you'll know that we have some mixed feelings about Elite Dangerous. When the game launched,
Salty!
when the game launched almost 4 years ago, guys. It launched.
Has it been that long?
It was December 2014, I believe.
You know how I know? Because it took 3 years to get bookmarks on the map. Zing!
That's true.
Yeah, no, it's not wrong.
Fired.
You're not wrong. The game, when it started out, we were all very excited. We were all like, ooh, it's amazing. And the more we played it, the more we're like, it's not so amazing. So we complain about it a lot because it like a lot of it's like, wow, it's a great simulation with half great a game. And so
it needs something.
It needs something. And so we're going to...
It's a little flat. It needs some salt to kind of spice it up.
Yeah, hello,
and
6
I've
A
got
and
some
B.
salt.
Yeah, Jim might be the angriest of us about this
I'm
game.
not angry. I'm just...
You're angry.
Tempered.
Disappointed.
Yeah,
So-
I see the potential, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of potential.
If the game was a piece of crap, I wouldn't care. I would have moved on.
Exactly.
But every time I touch this game, I'm just like, oh, the potential. It's like just please get there. But the development cycle is kind of glacial. So, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to dock in this. I haven't played in about a year, you guys, so asteroid bases are relatively new. It's
Oh, you're there, huh?
It's very pretty. Yeah, I'm at Sinbad's Refuge in, what's this?
The house that me and Dennis built.
New Tari?
The artist formerly known as Teeth.
Yeah. Now, folks, if you haven't played Elite Dangerous, and if you're listening / watching this podcast, that would be very hard to believe. But let's just say you haven't played Elite Dangerous. It is basically a first-person spaceflight simulator where you can fly varied ships of various capabilities. And do missions and shoot things and do missions and shoot things.
You can mine.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, that's true. You can mine. Okay. You can shoot things.
You can fly around.
You can fly around. You can take off.
Screenshots.
You can
Screenshots.
You can take off.
There's the little the droid guy that comes off your ship, and you can get great desktop background.
Oh, okay, that's a good point.
Oh, yeah, you put an asp in front of anything and take a picture of it.
It's great.
And
There's a subreddit for that, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You can.
Things.com.
You can land.
Check out that asp.
This kind.
I wanted to start a meme that's asps behind things, and it would just look like a thing. And it's like, well, you can't really see the asp, but trust me,
it's there.
Now, so basically, it's this big, and I'll show you how big the map is, folks, if you're watching. It's a very large game. They basically rendered our solar system to like what, 1-to-1, basically.
Very close.
Very close to 1-to-1. And
Missing a Tesla though.
It's missing a Tesla.
May put it in.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put it in.
I wonder, did he do the Tesla thing to like reenact the scene from Heavy Metal? It has to be. It looks
just like it. I know, right?
It really does. It really does.
Yeah, and you know the whole astronaut thing that was actually like filmed in front of a screen, right? That's not a real picture of a astronaut in the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really? Because they showed the screen. But anyway,
I'm not sure. We'll talk about that later.
They hired Stanley Kubrick to fake the car launch. But I don't know. All right, back to you, Brian.
So just folks, by the way, if you're watching the stream, I am using head tracking, so I'm very gestural. So the screen's going to move around a lot. And I honestly haven't found the place to toggle the head tracking off and on. There used to be a way to do that. I can't find it anymore.
Mouse button.
Huh?
Middle mouse button.
No.
That's what I got mine set to. Okay.
Where do you set it though? I couldn't find where you even set it.
Well, that's a whole nother thing, man. That menu. Woo.
God. Yeah, I couldn't find where you set it.
Control.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit random.
Mm-hmm. So, folks, a lot of us really want to level Elite Dangerous. We really do, because it offers so much. But then when you get down to the actual gameplay,
I think for purposes being though, we should go back to the beginning of when Elite Dangerous launched.
Okay,
and explain why at this point, 4 years on, or almost 4 years on, we're a little salty about it. And I would venture to say that when we got into it early and into the beta, right? Like we got into like the super elite beta club, right?
Yeah.
I think at least the three of us. I don't know, Dennis, did you buy in at the very beginning? Okay. Well, I know at least the three of us. What about you, Spaz? Because you eventually returned it.
Right. I bought it after release and then returned it. But that's for
your
separate
return,
reasons I can go into.
Right.
I can go into that later.
Your reasons are completely different, but we got into it super early. We even had like a meetup on like launch day, and it was like a super awesome time. But I feel like the thing that keeps bothering us is, 6 months would go by, and it's really just kind of like performance improvements. And then, some more time would go by. Maybe like, at this point, you're like a year later. There's not too much new stuff that's been added. Just, some quality of life tweaks here and there. But I mean, as a fully, what they call or consider a fully released game, you could land on moons now at this point.
Yeah.
That was cool, but even then that kind of became
difficult.
It
was like everybody was like, we got to have moon landings. We got to have these planetary landings. That's what we want, right?
And that was cool. And when it came out,
it's the same cycle in the forums. It's like what the super vocal minority is harping about, and they cater to that, right? But it's like the silent 90% of people are like, I wish I had bookmarks on the map. You know,
Oh, sure.
the basic stuff that could have been done in like a weekend, right? Like,
Yeah, there was a lot of functionality that seemed very basic missing from the game upon launch. Like, to bookmark a system you wanted to return to for whatever reason, like say you wanted to be a combat pilot and there was a high res, a resource zone, which is where a lot of pirates hang out. In the early days, if you wanted to bookmark a system, you had to buy a ship. Like you'd buy a Sidewinder.
Sidewinder bookmark system.
Yeah, so it would show up on the map, which seemed ridiculous because on cell phones today, I could make bookmarks in Waze or Google Maps.
Yeah, the game was simulating
like bookmarks in Russia.
Yeah, the game was simulating a computer from 1984 is what it was doing, because initially you were limited to just the things that could happen in the original 1984 game.
That is one of my points I do want to get to, because I go ahead, Hunter.
Well, I was going to say, just to kind of continue off of that simple progression, and then going into detail. From inception, it was a great idea. The game is now, this is what we're calling fully released, and we're going to add expansions, DLC, and content later. I think universally, Engineers, when it first came out, has been universally considered bad. That eventually got somewhat better. But I have yet to do any of the Engineer stuff because it just seems like a tedious project that I don't really want to get into.
Yeah, it's so much grinding.
With that said, today's update really fixed a lot with the engineering system.
Sure, and that's cool, and we'll definitely get into that. I'm just saying, like, up until this point at least, it's been one of those things where this game, like Jim said, has so much freaking potential to it, and I want to love it so damn much. But as a fully envisioned game, it's hard for me to want to invest a lot of time into it when I don't feel like there's any thing that it kind of gives back to me other than the casualness of it. And that's cool too. And I'm not trying to harp on people that do it like that. I'm just saying, for me personally, and for some others out there that are like me, I want kind of more substance to my gameplay. I want some kind of like, this is what I did in this universe. I mean, otherwise, at this point, I don't see the point of playing an open play versus private play versus solo play. I mean, I really don't see the difference, other than if I'm going to play in solo play, I'm just not going to get griefed by other players, but like the world around me is still influenced by the other players that I don't see because it's all connected.
Right, and because they can drop offline and interact with the online universe, right? So that would be like, here's the first of many, but Eve, right? So we'll just discuss some things in terms of Eve. In Eve, if people have blockaded a sector of space or whatever, you're not going there. You know, like you can't just drop offline and bypass all that. And you know, it's like if you fly into a sector that's at war, then you'll be made aware of that really fast because people will come to greet you with their guns out. That doesn't happen here. Like, I jump into a system and it's like, oh, it's at war. Well, how do I know? Well, there's two waypoints. One's a high conflict war zone and one's a low conflict, intensity. And it's like, oh, so it's a theme park ride. You know, if I want to ride the like junior coaster, then I get in the low intensity one, and then I can go in there and shoot stuff and until my shields are gone, or whenever I just want to park it for the night, or I get bored because the enemy is not really that smart, and then I leave. Right? Or if an enemy player wants to pirate me or something, and they yank me out of hyperspace with an interdictor, I target a nearby star and I jump. And if I'm trying to jump in system, then you can't do it, right? It'll be like, oh, you're mass locked. But if what they call it high waking is if I'm low waking, that's in the system, and you can't do it because it'll be like, oh, you're mass locked, right? Because I got a big ship next to me. So I high wake. I pick a nearby star and I'm gone. And the ship doesn't give a shit about that mass lock anymore, which I think is a fundamentally broke-ass mechanic. But yeah, so basically there's nothing in the game that gives me any kind of tension at all, because I choose when the fight starts and ends. And if you ever lose a ship in here, it's your own fault because you weren't paying attention. You know, it's like you should have left when you were at half armor. You should have high waked and you panicked and tried to low wake. Things like that.
Or on top of that, fighting the interdiction minigame.
Oh, I just don't do it anymore. I just submit and then high wake out.
Yep.
Or even low wake, depending on what I get interdicted by. But nothing that the enemy can throw at me is any kind of intimidating. And that's okay. So you were talking about, like in Eve, as you advance up the missions and stuff, that the enemies get new abilities, right? It's like it started out, it was pretty normal, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, they got energy vampires.
Now they're newting the shit out of my capacitor.
They're newting me. Oh god, they're warp scrambling me. I can't get away. You know, these things. And then, you know, the composition of the enemy fleets will change, right? So it's like I jump in here and it's like, oh yeah, I fought a couple of frigates. That was easy. Oh shit, here's a battleship and 5 frigates. And the frigates are newting me and warp scrambling me, and I cannot run away from the battleship. Now I'm going to have a very bad day, you know. But in Eve, because of the PvP aspect of it, and I totally understand why some people want to avoid that entirely here, and I understand why Elite in general, Frontier Developments, was like, we don't want that Eve Online bullshit over here, because people look at Eve as like a super hostile game, because it is. But we found a corner of Eve where we can exist with friends and really not have to deal with hostile people, right? I dread the day that hostile people come up.
I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But when that day does happen, this entire like section that we're living in, everybody's like all friendly with one another. We're going to have a good time doing PvP. Like PvP at that point will be
we just need to be stocked up for it. I need about 10 frigates up in the hangar.
Okay, here's it. Hang on. In the YouTubes, Shreds Games with Z's. So immediately I can't take you seriously. Shreds Games says, want a challenge? Try Conflict Zone in that Cobra. You won't last 5 minutes. Well, that's great, but that's not really the point.
Well, it's theme park ride again. Like, I could choose to go in a Sidewinder, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, this game's boring. I need a challenge, so I need to step it down. But that defeats the carrot on the stick, right? Like in Eve, it's like, I need a bigger ship. I need to get my skills trained up. I need to get better equipment on this thing, because there's always something that I won't survive, right? So it's like, I need to become better and better at this. Well, in Elite, it's like, well, I went and I engineered my guns and I engineered my drive, and you know, it's like I'm flying an Anaconda right now. I don't like the Anaconda, but it's like, it's a good cargo ship, which is sick. Like, it should be like not a good cargo ship, but it's like, I don't get this thing out for fights, right? So I'll go grab, you know, like a smaller ship for fights and stuff, and I do pretty competently in that. But it's a thing where I don't feel the carrot on the stick, because like 4 years ago I got that Viper and I like Class A spec'd it, right? And that ship hasn't changed since, because there's nothing different about the weapons. The ship has stayed the same, and I can kill anything I want in it, you know, that the AI throws. Other players, now that's another story, but that's a thing, right? Like, if you participate in the PvP, that's super unbalanced too, because the people that are hardcore into that have gone and engineered the shit out of their ships, and they're a threat, right? So it's there's a problem also in the rebuy mechanic, because I pay a percentage of the ship's value automatically as the insurance. I don't have an option, right? It's like in Eve, it's like, do you want to insure the ship? Well, I don't know. What's it pay out? What's the ship actually worth? I'm going to lose tens of millions of credits if I get killed in Eve. So I have to do things to earn money so that I can then afford to get killed, right? And then I go have fun and I do risky things. But being killed is a thing. It's like you never play that game that you're not looking over your shoulder. It's like, okay, I'm out mining, haven't seen another human being all day. That doesn't mean I take my eyes off that radar, because God knows what could jump in on me, right? So
drop for the win.
Okay,
and it's just because that threat exists.
Right.
The game is more interesting, not because it ever happens, because it hasn't yet, but just the potential is there. So I'm a little bit on edge, right? And it's fun. But in Elite, it's like, well, I could choose to go into that war zone. I can be in the system. I can be right next to this war, and I'll never see it unless I actually specifically drop into that battle site, which that battle site is just like fish in a barrel.
Which is where I draw beef with the guy who just said, well, I bet you couldn't take that combat site in the ship you're in. Well, no, of course I can't, and I'm not going to even try, because...
Right.
Yeah.
Because I know better.
Now, guys, hang on.
But the thing is, I could.
Hang on.
That's the sick part. I got an A-spec Sidewinder. I take it into asteroid fields and kill anacondas with it.
Jim?
Right? It takes a while, but I do it.
Jim,
Yes.
you have to let other people talk. Okay?
Salt mining.
Now, Tangent Revolution in the YouTube asks this question. I'm not trying to be a dick in asking this, but this is out of sheer curiosity. If you really think the game sucks, why bother playing? And Eric answered in the chat, but I thought we should answer him as well. We don't really play. That's the problem. It's here.
Yeah, we're only back in it today because there was the new patch that came out, which we're going to get to and talk about that with Dennis.
Right. And Dennis is... he has the tough job tonight of being our resident optimism coach. I'm going to call him that.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah,
this is good.
True.
So, because Dennis has a lot of time, probably more than any of us, in this game because he plays it constantly. So, and Dennis, your job isn't to sell it or convince us it's great or to sell it to us or whatever. But you're more than welcome to jump in and offer a counterpoint as to, why one of us might be wrong if we're harping about something, But
I'm not, so far what I've heard, is fairly, accurate, points that, you could say about the game that need to be addressed at some point in the future.
Now, the two issues I have with the game are, one, its design is stuck in the 80s. It really wants us to be wowed by flying around a ship and little else. Whereas in 2014, 2016, 2017, we're different gamers now. We expect more. And this game really doesn't give a lot more. Especially
with the way it looks.
Right, exactly.
Visually.
Exactly. Plus... wow, you're real close. Can I see you in there if I get really close? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I can. Look at that. I can kind of see you in the cockpit there. Look at that. Anyway, the other thing is, other games that try and do this, like Jumpgate, like Eve, they have thresholds. They have... In Eve, you have skills you have to level up. In Jumpgate, you have levels that you have to reach in order to access different pieces of equipment, access different ships. When all you have to worry about to gate anything is money, once you have enough money, it's like, why am I still playing this? That's why I stopped.
But look at Eve. What's different in Eve? There's nothing but money.
No, Eve has skills.
Time.
Eve has skills. Like, I can't fly the ship I want to yet because...
Yeah, but that time commitment, that's not about you being good at the game or you, have to go out and grind missions.
There is... Well, you know what's different? You know what's different about Eve, though?
That's not what I'm saying, though. There's a gate. And it's a carrot and a stick behind that gate. And you want to do what you have to get behind that gate. Ooh, this is nice and close. Someone get a screenshot of this.
Nice
Brian sandwich.
Oh, I bought this decal for this Cobra like a million years ago when it was my exclusive ship.
I'm talking about Pickle.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can't even tell.
Spider.
Oh, the spider.
Pickle boat.
Oh, pickle boat. Very nice.
Is it on the top of it? Yeah.
Yeah. Need to get the green skin for it.
Tangent.
For the ship.
Tangent says this game is more than most games, if not all, in the genre. It isn't, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not. I get more gameplay
free space.
I get more gameplay out of both Jumpgate and Evercron Legacy due to their having more contained universes, due to their having more active and vibrant and meaningful economies, and due to having more varied missions than I do in this game. I'll be honest with you. I play those way more than I play this. Because
yeah, it's like we see that stuff in other games, and it's like, damn it, if this was an Elite.
If this was an Elite, I'd be playing Elite right now. You know?
Yeah, and it's little stuff, right? Like, well, the dynamic economy from that game, or
you know what? I would give up Eve today if there was actually like a player economy and something like, an actual player organizational system other than in-game factions that are so-called. It's like we have Veloxi's Vixens, but like we have zero control over Veloxi's Vixens.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not officially a member. I can't control who my members are or who Brian's members are.
Yeah, there's an object in the game with our name on it, and if we choose to interact with that object, then we can kind of influence its success.
Right, that's the point I'm getting at. Like, if I could have some more ownership or something kind of tangible, I would play this a lot more often.
They claim that the
to be fair,
update coming at the end of the year is going to be introducing some of those components.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be fair, we're going to have, carriers, I think?
Yeah, back carriers or mega ships or some other
something like that.
Controlled / owned stuff. They didn't really go into detail.
You know what would work for me would be, let me, for a cost in money, rent a slot in a station, right? And then I can use that as a manufacturing thing or just a cargo bay or whatever the hell I want to do with it, right? But like I could go out and mine stuff and then take that stuff that I mined and turn it into spaceship parts. And then I could sell that to other players.
That's not how this game works. That's not how this game works.
No, that's what he's saying.
But it's but there's this AI market that's there, right? That's fine. But if a player comes in, then a player can actually influence the local economy, right? You can be disruptive to that, and that could be like a little meta game, and it would be neat. But it would be a money sink, right? Because they have to get a money sink in here because there's people running around with billions of credits and nothing to spend it on.
And once you have an Anaconda, what do you spend that money on? That's the biggest ship in the game right now, right? Like what?
A cutter that he's got.
Oh,
but let me ask you, Teeth, why did you need a cutter? Because it's super OP, right? Like you kill everything in a Python. So why the drive to get the cutter?
It's very pretty. I will tell you that. It is a very pretty ship.
The most amount of cargo, and it also has the strongest shields of any ship in the game.
I will admit, in Elite 2 Frontier, the Imperial Cutter was also my favorite ship back then.
Yeah, but Elite 2 was scary, man, because you could die.
Well, right? not only that, but the combat was so bad. You get that jousting combat that
Yeah, I've been playing Pioneer Scout recently, and that combat is no joke.
Now, Tangent Revolution brings up a good point. He brings up the point about engineers and power play as something gated in this game. But
Holy God, he had to bring up power play.
But here's the problem. When you're grinding something, you want to feel like the grind, you're moving, the wheel is moving fast enough that you're making progress. That the grind that you're doing is sufficient enough to move the wheel, to move the needle, you know? And like it doesn't feel like that. At least it hasn't. Maybe this new engineer stuff Dennis mentioned will make it feel more meaningful. But right now, the grind has not felt meaningful. Now, Shreds Games asks a good question. Why is your goal the biggest ship? Get creative and make your own goals. Go look up some basilisk Thargoids. Trust me, you'll die. But then what? I've done that. Okay. Then what? I can explore the middle of the galaxy. I can go to the center of the galaxy. Sure. What's the reward out of that, though? Like, why would
that sounds absolutely dreadful, in fact. To go
it's so boring.
Like, so far. Because I read Reddit posts, right? It's like I'm very much in the elite Reddit. See, that's the thing. It's like, oh, you guys hate this game. Oh, God, no.
We don't hate it.
No, we don't hate it. You think I'm flying this freaking ship that I'm in because I didn't play the game? I got, like, I don't know, 1,500 hours in this game. But that's the thing is like when you're learning to play the game, it's fun because there's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But now the challenge is gone.
Yeah.
Right? So now, to me, this is like Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
I could take off from an airport, fly around, look at the scenery. I have a choice. I can make the weather tough, so it's a little harder to fly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's really like I need my own sandbox motivation. I need to make my own game inside the game. Because it's like they have a mission system, but whatever. It's just kind of like I'm going to fly from here to there, and the flying there is fun, right?
Right.
But I can't go back and do that every day, and that's kind of what I get here.
The game tends to be more fun in the beginning. I think once you move up to like getting a medium-sized ship is when it starts to get grindy.
Yes. Exactly.
Well, because you're not scared anymore. That's my opinion of that. Is just
because
I don't feel any kind of risk in combat.
Yeah, the struggle is gone.
In that thing, you can't.
Yeah, the struggle is gone. Like once there's no struggle, it's like, what am I doing here? Like I'm gonna bring up Jump Gate again. I know I'm gonna bring it up a lot, but there's reasons I'm bringing it up a lot. But with that game, like the economy was such like if I needed an anti-flux ECM, I needed to mine biomass. How do you mine biomass? From the AI flux that fly around and shoot at you. So if I want to make these things that other players can use, I have a reason to go out there and do it. And
and Eve's kind of that way too, right? Yeah. It's like if it exists, that's because somebody went out and mined the ore.
Yeah, exactly. Like
somebody bought the blueprint. Somebody did. Yeah, and that's I wish that this game had that.
Oh, I know. I mean, exactly.
Like we don't. I would like to see. I would like to see more economic warfare than pew pew warfare going on, right?
Or diplomatic warfare. Can you imagine like getting a mission where you have to shuttle like Uber a diplomat somewhere?
Yeah. Okay. So Powerplay. So now this is twice like diplomacy and Powerplay came up. I can't contain it anymore. So Powerplay. Hey, our empire is at war with that empire. Really? All right. What do you want me to do? Here's a box of leaflets. Fly them over there.
Wait! You're missing the best part, though. You have to pay for the leaflets.
Yes. But it's like I cannot think of a more insulting thing to have me do in my giant combat ship than to wage war with propaganda leaflets. Right.
With that said, a lot of players do the combat aspect of that. You don't necessarily have to do the cargo transfer.
No, you can kill the other guys that are trying to bring leaflets in.
But you can actually undermine the enemy team and get points that way.
Yeah, well, I saw there was. Well, how do you do that? Like you jump in and actually kill their ships? Like you're killing their merchant ships or their military or what?
I'm not too sure because I've never done it because the only part of Powerplay I generally care about is getting the modules.
Right. Which people have gamified that, right? I mean, like explain, because that's a thing.
You basically wait 3 weeks, spend an hour doing some work, and then you wait another week, and then you have the modules. And I do generally just do the cargo transfer because it's more, there's a really shitty UI you have to get around when doing that, but I'd rather do that than have to figure out how to kill a bunch of people and whatnot.
Tangent Revolution, he's saying we said the game sucks. The game we don't feel the game sucks. We feel that the game could be so much more, and it sucks that it isn't. That's how we feel.
Yeah, and we have every hope that it will eventually.
Yeah, we would love it if in a year or 2 or 3 we can land on planets with atmosphere. You know,
consider this show not our grand list of disappointment, but our grand wish list that we're hoping that someone pays attention to, because we're not alone.
It is a bit of both, but on the other hand, we feel like it needs to be said, get it out there, so that if someone actually listens and changes that we would hope get into the game get made, then the game will be better for it in the long run.
Yeah.
Jim, join the wing.
Oh,
I thought he did join the wing.
I invited you guys, and okay. All right, I'm in.
Okay, so how do we do one of these wing missions? Let's check this new thing out.
I picked up 2 assassination wing missions.
Oh, geez.
Let me go change ships, because I don't want to afford losing this.
When I looked at the mission board, the options were, we need to haul thousands of tons of something to another station, which you guys, I assumed, would feel that was boring. So I skipped all of those, and the only other option was you go to another system and you kill a pirate lord.
All right, let's try that. I'm game.
Yeah. Do you remember when we tried that before? It was just 2 of us.
Yeah, this will be fun because Brian's probably gonna die.
I'm probably gonna die a horrible death, but that's okay. This thing is.
You gonna bring that Cobra?
Yeah, this thing is so cheap to replace. I don't care. What am I gonna do? Get a vulture or a venture or whatever the fuck it's called? What is it? What the fuck is it?
Vulture.
Hang on. Do they even have those here? They don't have a shipyard here.
No.
Oh well.
Oh, not at this. No, the base
You have to go to Parmitano.
Yeah, no, I'll stick with this. This is my favorite. It was with this ship that I had the most fun in the game. Was with this ship.
We didn't haul enough millions of tons of stuff of tea in the community goal for this base to have a shipyard.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god. Can we please touch on that? Because apparently tea is the community goal. Like
what?
Like, hey, we're making a star base. We need 100 million tons of tea.
Wait.
I don't even.
Wait. Tea?
Okay,
yes, tea.
It was one of, I believe, 4, 5, or 6 different materials you could drop off, but tea was the most available one.
Yeah, it was in great quantity, and it was 1 jump away. So who's going to do what, right? So, of course, everybody being human, we're all going to do, like, the laziest, fastest thing.
Right.
Well, it doesn't matter, because it's not like you need a couple million of this, a couple million of that. It's just total tonnage is what they asked for.
Yeah, Tangent brings up the point, you undermine other Powerplay factions by destroying their ships and turning in vouchers for merits. But that moves the needle so little. Unless they've changed that. When I was doing that, it did almost nothing. And you have to do that constantly. Like, I don't have...
merit decay is awful. Powerplay would be a lot more interesting if... because you lose half the merits, basically.
If you don't play for like a week, you lose the demerits. You use the things you work. You lose the merits you worked for. It's like, why? Why do they degrade? Why can't I just pile them up as I have time? That's almost player hostile. It feels like, you know.
It's a bit, yeah. Well, I think it's one of those things of like, we want to keep people engaged. We don't want people to just do the minimum and then fade away, right? Like, oh, we'll log in 2 weeks whenever you get the gun.
But this game doesn't have a month. This game doesn't have a monthly fee, so who cares? People play when they play.
Because they want the population in there. Because you need people if you're gonna have power play, right? You have to have players participating, or you're gonna be like there's no struggle in it. So you need to see like the numbers moving from players doing things,
right?
And that's the thing, right? Like this game, because it has the problem of the offline people can do things, and I fly mostly offline. Well, I fly in a private group, right? I'll fly in the Mobius thing because those guys are fun, and there's a lot of people, right? There's I don't know how many, 10,000, whatever. There's people. Like, so if I go to a station in the core, I'm going to see other players.
Right.
And because it's Mobius, I know they're not hostile, and, you know, we just wave at each other and whatever. And that's great that exists. But I think whenever you come to play the full public game, right, your character should be split, right? You have a character that's here that does this. And then if you go to one of the other modes, then you have a separate character. So if you're going to accomplish things out in the big public real world, I think, much like Eve, you should be online full time. And not because, oh, well, that just gives the hostile people more people to shoot at, but I believe it actually builds community, because you will see people on.
You know, and also, here's the thing, though. If people want to play by themselves, though, have two different characters, man. Like, just have those
that's what I said.
Characters. I know. I'm agreeing with you.
PvP kind of deal.
I'm reinforcing.
And they could do it right now without pissing anybody off, because what you do is you split your character, right? It's like whatever your character is in the online right now, whenever you log in offline, it becomes a separate branch, right? But you keep all your stuff, all your money, but now it's an alternate universe, right? And it's fine. And don't let the offline stuff screw around with Powerplay and other economics in the game, please. And that way, you lose that whole thing of like, I'm going to just drop offline and bypass, you know, like these code guys that are hanging out in this system. It's like, no, now they're a real thing that you interact with, right? And it's like you get to know your neighbors, and it's like, hey, man, we got to go kill them pirates, right? Also, I think the ship rebuys are way too cheap.
I'm not complaining.
If you but the thing, okay, so like I'm in the Anaconda, right? And I have a pretty damn expensive rebuy, right? Like if I died in this thing, I'd be broke right now because of the rebuy.
Shit.
So I'm not flying it to this combat site. I'm going to take something disposable.
That's why I'm flying this.
Yeah, I got
rebuy cost is 31.4 million. Yeah,
and mine's like, I don't know, 20 or something.
Mine is 99,000. Oh, wait, who's frame shifting? Dennis, you're frame shifting? Where are you going?
I am going to the system where the one pirate lord is.
Well, how do we get to you then? How do I follow you?
Once I jump, you can see what system I'm in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The system name is like random letters and numbers, and it's easier for you to see what it is.
I landed in the wrong station. I forgot my ship's in the other one. Derp.
Yeah, you can't do anything at asteroid base, unfortunately.
So, what the? Hang on. What the hell's the name?
Well, I just think that it would foster community, because like what we've got going on in Eve, right, where we live up that dead end alley, and like we get to know everybody that's in there, right? Because it's like,
right.
You don't really get that in here, because like we're finding out with Hunter, it's like, where are you at, man? Let's hang out. Oh, I'm like 400 light years away. It'll take me an hour to get there. And it's like, damn it, you know. But it's like maybe mobility is a problem like that, because in Eve, it's like you got to think about it before you go somewhere, because you're going to fly through some scary space. But in here, there's
at least,
but here there's no scary space, because I can just drop offline and jump out there, no problem, right?
Right. So,
and even if it wasn't other players, I just wish the AI was at least a threat of some sort.
So,
and if they change the way the mass lock crap works, it would be, because getting interdicted is just a pain in the ass right now. But it would be a threat if I couldn't get away. It's like, oh, you gotta fight.
Right. How do I? So I just got a mission invite. What do I do with that?
You got to look at your left panel and transactions. Because I shared it to you.
Got it. All right.
The way that wing missions work is each person in the wing can share their mission. So you can have up to 4 wing missions going on at a time. But see, I can stack multiple ones. So if we complete one of mine, I can just share another one.
So Tangent's leaving, but he brought up the point that, you know, he wasn't trying to like he was saying like he wasn't disagreeing with us about how power play and all that works. He was just trying to explain it. Like, yeah, the problem is we know how it works. We're just very disappointed by how it works.
Well, it's just like it could be something so different.
Yeah.
That actually was more compelling. That's the I think some really watered down choices were made to make the game more casual.
For Veloxi's Vixens, for example, for a little while we were playing the Backbone game, like the background simulator, for a little while, like influencing like where we could get Veloxi's like missions from. But after a while, when you're playing that background game, like you gotta get put on hold.
Yeah.
Because like you can't like you're not always guaranteed to get new missions. They're not always available.
Well, yeah, that and it's a weird ass meta thing, right? Where it's just like, well, random number, whatever, and what do you get out of this? Well, I get to see my corporation with my name on it spread around.
Hey,
maybe
you guys are gonna love this.
What's that?
The mission target is around a planetoid that is 116,000 light seconds in system.
Oh wow!
Oh.
How about that? That's why it's paying a lot of money.
Oh.
I don't think the payment thing is because I'm elite ranked. I think that's just a bad random occurrence.
So are we doing it?
Well, how long will it take to fly out there?
I don't know, 10 minutes.
No, that's not bad. It ain't Hutton.
That's fine.
No.
Besides, I'm still flying to you guys, so this give me time.
Yeah, and then we're talking more than we're fighting right now anyway. So that's
what I figured. You need to go to. I don't know if you can see the mission target.
I can see you, and so I'm following you.
It is C7C. If you open up your system map, you might be able to see the mission icon. You have to scroll all the way to the right of the system map. It's like the very last planet. It's one of the moons of it.
I don't even see what planet. Where? I see 3 suns. That's all I see.
Well, you have to. You might not see it actually, because if you've never scanned a system.
I don't think I have a discovery scanner even. I'm just following you, basically. I see you in front of me. You're 662.
For future reference, we should probably all scan the Nav Beacon. But yeah, just follow me.
Oh, is that a thing to do now? Is scanning the Nav Beacon?
Well,
you should.
If you don't have a discovery scanner, you can scan the Nav Beacon, and it basically does the same thing.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll give you a mission, and it's like it's in some random place, but you don't know where. But if you go and scan the Nav Beacon, then it'll be like, hey, that guy's right over there for some reason.
Well, that's what happened. Like, the mission is to destroy, like, some pirate guy or whatever. And it tells you what system he's in. But to actually find him, you have to run a scanner or scan the Nav Beacon. It tells you exactly what planet he's in. Then you orbit the planet a couple times, and then the unknown signal source will pop up.
So I did just run I have a very basic discovery scanner, and it found nothing. That was great. So now I'm just following you. I have you targeted.
Yeah, you ain't gonna see something that far out with a basic scanner.
Yeah, no, I'm following you. I've got you targeted, so I'm just gonna follow you.
You got a fighter bay in that thing?
I do, yes.
I have Star Trek Online going on. I just, for the record.
I have my NPC.
So yeah, Hunter, how far out are you?
When I get to the next star here, I'll tell you.
You know what? If we let's see.
Probably 20 jumps.
Well, if we get to the thing before you get to here, you could jump in his fighter and still have a.
Well, we can't. You can't.
Jumps.
I think you might have been slightly confused earlier when we started talking about this. You can't mix wings and multi-crew.
Oh, I thought you could.
You can't.
Just count. Oh, that's bullshit.
It's either one or the other.
So
Grumble, grumble, salt, salt, grumble, salt.
Hunter, I'm going to invite you to the
Man, I
wing.
need pepper to go with all that salt. That's just dumb as shit. Like, you should be able to have 2 ships with 2 people.
Yeah, I agree.
Why
I
is
think
that not
I think there's 2 reasons for it. One, I guess they figured it would have been too powerful if you could have like a bunch of multi-crew ships also in a wing, but I think the real reason for it is
like you can still keep 4 players. Why can't
Right.
like, one ship have 2 people, and then you have like a wing with 2 other ships that just have people on it? You still have 4 people.
I don't know.
Because that would
I
make
mean,
too much sense.
it would make a lot of sense. Because there are a handful of ships that only have like the 2 seats anyway, so you could do a two ships. You know,
like my
have a helmet and a fighter.
Yeah, I saw where they finally put a second seat in the keelback. So it was like the only ship that had a fighter bay that you couldn't get a second player in, which was a little odd.
Hey, Hunter, I sent you a wing request. So if you join our wing, we could see how far away you are on the map, and vice versa.
You can still see it because I'm your friend.
Oh, really? But I have other friends on here.
Yeah, I think I have my friends turned off.
And I just want to see you.
Like a marker you can disable on the map and whatnot.
18 jumps.
18
But
jumps?
I think
That's not terrible.
the one best thing to come out of this update is the engineering actually has a finite like end when you are engineering a module instead of just completely everything being random. Like when you apply an upgrade, you're always getting a better upgrade, and there is a maximum you can hit.
I have lost you, Dennis. I apparently have gone out of range, so I'm just heading in the same direction I was before, hoping that I will run into you.
Yeah, I'm gonna scan this beacon so I can see where it's at because you guys are gone.
Yeah, I should have done that. Didn't even think. Didn't even know it was a thing.
Well, I didn't think about it either, but I was kind of hoping that maybe because I knew where I was going, that would also let your ships know where I was going.
Not really. That's kind of a problem. That is kind of a problem.
Just a little bit.
Well, I also wasn't anticipating that it was going to be like this far in system either.
Right, but I shouldn't lose you. If I could see you from multiple systems away, I should still be able to see you in the same system.
When I get there, I can drop a wing beacon, I think, and that will
probably
make it so you know where I'm at.
But the thing is, that's not what I'm saying. The thing is, why can't I see you when I'm in the same system if we're in the same wing? When I can see you when I can see where you are in another system, that's just so confusing.
I thought you could. I didn't know there was actually a range to that.
Apparently, there is, and it makes no sense. That's a perfect example. That's a perfect example of this game. That makes no sense.
Yeah,
I should always be able to see my wing.
A diamond that always points to where your wingman is.
Always,
no matter how far he is. You know, it's like that wouldn't be hard.
It's like,
come
what?
on.
Why?
So it's the silly little decisions like that if they just had somebody like us in the office to just be like, but wait, you know, like just one little thing. Yeah, like don't do that, do this, and you know. So I swear to God, those guys do not play their own game. They don't. I'm convinced.
Part of me wants
because otherwise you would have a lot of quality of life things that would happen.
God, I'll be honest, there's a part of me that wants to jump out and back in and scan the thing.
15 jumps. You guys there?
Yep.
Yeah, I think. I
Brian,
hope.
Okay.
Brian's going to end the stream as soon as he gets here.
I just really hope I'm going in the right direction.
I don't know, man. It's telling me 52 minutes. I hope that speeds up as time goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like a minute away from it.
Oh, okay. That's better. I think it's like as you get away from mass objects, then you go faster and faster. So.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I was going faster. I was going 400C, and now I'm going 130C. I don't know why.
You get near that planet.
I don't know what I'm near. I don't think I'm near anything. I have unexplored and unexplored and unexplored. That's all I have. Apparently, I'm heading toward a settlement. Some kind of Roland settlement. Then I've got unexplored.
You see Hodgkinson colony?
I do. I do
Well,
see
you're
that.
still surprised you don't see me then, because
I'm 2,000 light seconds from it.
I am 1,300.
Oh, interesting. Is that where you're headed?
No, it's just that's the closest like base from me.
Should I head toward it? I'm already heading toward it. This is so confusing. I'm gonna get super lost.
You don't want to head directly towards it because it's not where I'm going.
Oh my god, I don't know where you're going then. I already started heading toward it. Oh, for fuck's sake. I see resource extraction sites now. I see unexplored. What is that?
So the phrase "I don't know where you're going" kind of applies to the development process here, because
really does.
well, we really don't know.
All right, I'm going to be dropping.
Yeah, whatever happened to like the wing beacon stuff?
Well,
Or like lock on to the other person and you can just target your.
I
wing
just
person.
enabled my wing beacon. Does that do anything for you guys? It might
Oh
not even
wait,
work
I
if-
see it. I see it. I see your wing signal.
Totally worked. Okay, so that's a
Oh,
thing.
for fuck's sake. Okay.
I thought I had to drop out in the normal space for that to work.
Hey, Frontier Raven.
Make that the
You're in the
default!
When
Oh!
you're in a wing, wing beacon is on. Even
Always.
my car knows to turn on the fucking headlights when it's dark outside.
Oh my god.
No.
So please.
Now, when you're building a video game, what you want to do is make sure you code it.
You've been listening to The Greatest Generation, Hunter?
Way too much. Way too much.
I know. I'm going through all of it right now, and I'm in the middle of season.
Some good shit.
It's so good, guys. By the way,
Still in season 1.
Oh.
Still in season 1, but it's
oh
great.
man, yeah, we've
One
been
of the best podcasts. Those guys are awesome.
we've been going through all of Next Gen because Nicole wants to be able to see every episode so she can listen to every podcast. Because she hasn't seen every episode of Next Gen. Like, we just watched Sub Rosa, for example. But, folks, Greatest Generation is a really funny Star Trek The Next Generation and now DS9 recap podcast.
They
And
also
it
have
is...
one for Discovery.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. That is a separate one, actually, so they have 2 podcasts. And it's
Yeah,
so
I
funny.
guess you're right. Greatest Generation covered Next Gen and now DS9, and then
Right.
they do the Greatest Discovery, which is just Star Trek Discovery.
Right.
Which they're very optimistic about the show. Of
Which
Discovery,
is
I found.
surprising
That
me.
was weird.
Which is surprising, I know. And they don't like Orville. Like, they do not like Orville. Like, what?
I think it's because they recently just did all of TNG, and it's so fresh that maybe the Orville's just a little too, like, we've already seen this,
A little too close.
Maybe.
Oh,
which
shit.
is understandable. But you know,
Hey Jim,
I like it.
this
We love the Orville.
Oh, yeah.
the missing target USS has popped up and it says it's Threat 5.
Oh, well, let her bring 5 people.
That one that we died from was like a Threat 1.
Yep.
I still
Oh,
want to
this is gonna
see
be
it.
quick.
I still want to see it. Where are we
Well,
going?
I'm not dying in my ship because I don't want to lose my NPC pilot.
Oh,
Can't
man.
you just eject him?
No.
Well, I'm going to do
if
it.
If you die with your NPC crew member on board, you permanently lose them.
Oh, I see it. Unexplored. Unexplored. Yes, lock that. Scanning.
Who thought it was a good idea to put multiple suns in a solar system?
God, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like some
Jesus! Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, some explosion.
So
Yeah.
how do I
Q,
find
yes,
where the
Q is clever enough to do it.
how do I find where the pirate is?
Where do you see me? Just come to me.
Okay.
Jim, check
I'm
that chat.
I'm
I
coming
just
to
sent
you.
All right.
I'm coming to you. I think I just got a message of
I'm
something.
not in the USS yet. I was waiting for at least Jim to get here.
All right. I see you. I see your signal anyway. Hang on. Okay, I see your signal. Oh, safe diffing. So can I disengage where you are now? Are you in regular space or what's happening?
No, I'm at throttle 0 in Super Cruise.
Oh, interesting.
Which you're still moving, which is weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
At 30 kilometers a second.
Yes. Throttled to 0, 30 kilometers a second. I'll be there yesterday.
So where does this where's this thing show up? In the navigation, or is it contacts, or I see a wake.
It shows up under navigation tab.
Yeah, so is this one of those deals where it tells you the planet, and then you have to, like, fly around the planet until it actually appears?
Yeah, and it actually appeared for me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, it has not appeared for me, so I apparently have to go fly around the planet. So I'm gonna go do that.
No, you don't. It's like right. Once I get in it, you can join in it.
But I thought you
You'll
didn't.
drop on his wake.
I thought you didn't want to go in it.
I was waiting for Jim.
Yeah,
Oh.
so if Brian links his Super Cruise to yours, like you do the nav link thing, which key I don't remember if I even
How do you
found.
do that?
He will drop at the same time as you, right? There's a key that they don't bind by default. That is it.
Okay.
There's a button just for Super Cruise. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
No.
nav
There's
lock.
a wing
Wingman nav
thing.
lock.
Hang on a
Oh,
second.
you can enable wing nav lock is on the menu.
Hey, go ahead and invite me back to your wing again there, Brian.
Well, okay, one sec. Where's the wing
On the
shit?
function menu.
Where's the wing shit? Oh my god.
If I act like I don't know what I'm doing, it's because even though I play this game a lot, not with other people. And normally, it's when I do wing up with other people, it's like I'm already in there in like a has-res and we're just shooting shit.
I just got a delivery contract from Counselor Farrell. What the hell is that?
Just delete it.
Oh,
You actually get random mission requests as you're flying around, which I guess is kind of cool because you can like little mini objectives without having to dock at a station or whatnot. But I just always ignore them.
Oh, okay. That's kind of neat. All right, so oof.
So I don't see you.
I see you.
Maybe you have to turn your wing signal on.
Oh, how do I do that again?
On the
Functions.
right.
Functions.
It's under the 2 menu. You have to go to the second option on the left. Or options.
So you said that the wing beacon thing is actually on the menu. Whereabouts?
He said enable wing nav lock, I think is what he's talking about.
That's what I'm hunting for.
I'm not seeing that anywhere.
There's a keybind for that,
Oh
but
my
you have to
God.
set it.
I couldn't find it.
Well, you see, if you select one of your wingman's things under that same menu, there's a enable wingman nav lock.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, I see
So
it.
I think what you'd want to do is you're gonna want to wait for me to drop into it, then select my name and hit enable wing nav lock, and then I think when you're close enough, it automatically drops you in to where I am.
Yeah, it just did that. It just did that, and now it just dropped me. I did the enable wing lock thing, and it just dropped me. I'm like in real space now.
Is there a bunch of ships there?
No, there's nobody here.
Okay, you must have just dropped into normal space where I'm in Super Cruise and.
God damn it!
But just go back into Super Cruise and just throttle to 0.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, the deal is you'll see his wingman thing, and then you target it, and it'll say wing signal. And then whenever you get close enough to it, just like a planet, it'll give you a safe drop is enabled or whatever.
Yeah. Okay,
So
I think
it's
I
just
see
like
it,
going
Bob.
to a station. Now that's me that just dropped in.
Okay.
Oh, are you close?
Yeah, I'm in the space with you.
I don't see
All right,
a.
I'm
Oh,
gonna-
maybe I'm not. So, that's really weird.
I don't
Now
see.
you're
Gates.
you're
don't-
like 1.2 million meters. It's like you're warping across the sky. That's
All right,
so freaky.
I just dropped in the USS, so you can enable wing navlock now on me, I think.
Yeah, you're 800 kilometers from me. What?
But just go into super cruise. Make sure you throttle 0 after you start to go.
Right.
I think there's actually oh, there's somebody.
That's me. Oh shit, they're shooting at me already.
And now
Oh, yeah,
it's
there's 6 of them.
it's jumping me back out again. Oh fuck. Oh, hello everyone.
Welcome to the party.
Whoa! Wow! Woohoo!
Hey Jim, you got that link ready to that?
The thong. The thong remains the theme. That's what Tyson said.
Hey, my fighter lasted all of 5 seconds. All right, 1 down.
Yep. Woohoo! Hey, look, it's a Cobra.
Oh,
I could take the
that
Cobra.
happened. I've lost modules.
Oh, I'm dead.
That didn't take
Boom!
long.
No, it didn't. Your ship has
So-
been
Yeah, no time for pew pew. It was just pew. And
just
And-
you. Yeah.
In hindsight, it probably wasn't a great idea of me to pick missions.
No, because you're a bit leveled. I think I'm about to die. Yes. So it's kind of a bear that they have made it much more prevalent that your engines will get knocked out. So, and honestly, I like that, but it's much more prevalent than it used to be. Because that's the flaw in my plan, right? Is like, well, you can jump out anytime. Yes, unless your thrusters get knocked off, and then you're not.
All right, back in. Oh, alien pickle destroyed. Oh no. So maybe I should pick Maybe I should pick a mission. Let's see. How do you pick?
Yeah, actually, you would be the one.
Okay.
Because you're the lowest of us all.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see how this works. So I go to the mission board, right? Mission board.
I also think that the Navy should be its own faction.
I agree.
And then if you want to take combat missions, you should take them from the Navy, and that's how you get your Navy rank.
So
Wow.
how do I pick a mission? I mean a wing mission. Like what's a wing mission?
The
Oh,
one that
it'll
has-
have a...
Has a little share icon on it. Not all of them will have it.
You want the one that
Oh.
has a sunny on it?
Is
Bad joke. Okay.
is it the one with
It's got like a blue ring with 3 balls on it. It's like a Triforce kind of looking thing.
it looks like a sun? Does it look like a sun? Or no, that's a different thing. Wow, there aren't any here. Let me go to that other station and see if there are any there. What's
I got
that?
one that's a massacre.
I might actually have to use a shield cell bank for the first time in a really long time.
Son of a bitch.
There, I sent an invite, and it's here in Nutari actually. So how about that?
Oh, okay.
Hey guys, guess where I am?
Oh, are you in Nutari?
10 jumps away.
I'm
Still
in
10
Nutari.
jumps. Oh,
Do-
well, excellent.
Do you have guns on your thing?
Do I have guys?
Hey, if you're You know what? If
got all the guns.
you're just flying to the center, if you're just exploring, why do you need guns? So I wouldn't have guns because it's, you know, you extend your jump range by not having them. So I mean,
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you about guns.
Eh?
He's like Texas.
I am like Texas. I'll be there next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend.
Texas?
Yeah.
Where in Texas?
Gun show.
Austin.
Oh, Austin's the best. I love Austin. Okay, Jim, where are we going?
Well, that is the question, because I don't know.
Oh,
All right, what station are you guys docked in over here? You guys are all like in different systems now.
Right.
Sinbad's
So I'm
Refuge.
yes. Sinbad's is the asteroid base, so it's the actual station that's right next to it, with the name of which I cannot remember.
Parmitano? Is that
Yeah,
where?
it's
Okay.
Parmatown.
All right, I see it. I'm going.
Welcome to Parmatown Mall.
All right.
For
Took
those
out
of
the
you in
Anaconda.
Cleveland, that was funny.
Good job.
This is actually this is actually would be kind of fun with 4 people and decent chips.
Oh, that's cool.
Because the
My
interesting
Aspen
thing.
Explorer has a lot of guns on it.
That's good.
Oh yeah, right.
Asp isn't the best combat ship, though.
It's got a lot of guns on it, though.
It is okay.
All right, I'll get out the big gun because I can afford one rebuy.
That's the spirit.
That's right. Don't fly it if you can't afford to lose it.
Should I switch to a
That's
vulture?
the motto I
Hey,
need for sure.
real quick, do you guys still have the mission shared?
Yeah,
I've shared out mine. Yes.
yeah.
What mission is it?
Assassinate terrorist leader Alan
Massive.
Koholan.
The massacre, whatever?
Yes.
I just shared out mine again, so Hunter can pick it up.
What, the pirate thing? We
Yeah,
all
I got
just
both
died
of them.
in?
I just accepted
that
both of them.
The one that you two both died on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have.
Yeah, that was fun. Let's not do that again.
I see Commander Veloxy. I'm gonna dock at Sinbad's Refuge here. That way,
Woo!
if I die, I don't get
Actually,
4,000
spawn at the Paratano or whatever.
It's a better base.
Parmitano.
It's a
yeah,
better
it's
base.
because you can actually do stuff here. Although I wish it had better ship fittings because I can't buy module reinforcements, which is a bummer.
Where's the Parmitano?
It's
Right next to Sinbad.
Yeah, Parmitano Terminal.
I see somebody in space out here that's in the
me.
wing.
That's
I'm
me.
out in space. I just found Parmitano though.
I'm docking at Parmitano right now.
I
Well,
guess.
Don't hit the fat boy in the door here because it's god damn it.
Oh, I guess I could auto dock if I really wanted to, but I like doing it myself.
I wish there was an auto undock because
Oh, yeah,
I wouldn't smack the ceiling. See, it's like in the Anaconda, you have to be so close to the roof, and then it'll clip.
Hey,
so
I think you might have to dock at Sinbad's Refuge if you want to accept the mission reward.
Oh, really?
did you kill that shit in there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Flag cutter.
Crazy.
All right, I'll dock at Sinbad. Well, there's a mission thing next
I'm
to it.
shocked that we actually did a level 5 mission because, like you said, the level 1 killed the hell out of us before.
Well, we were in your gunship, I think. Right? I was on your ship
maybe.
when we did it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, because we were in the beta and I just grabbed that gunship. Right.
Its gunship has pretty shit shields, so that's probably why we died.
Could be.
I have these plasma accelerators that do damage according to how much heat your ship has, so it's always fun to fire those off after I use a shield cell bank.
Oh, that's nice. That's
It's kinda
one of
cool,
those
too,
engineered
because they're-
things, or that's a faction
Yeah,
thing?
it's an engineer. It's one of the experimental effects. What's really cool is it gets bigger and brighter the more heat your ship has built up when you fire it.
And I've successfully docked. That was actually a fun little trek across the stars.
Yeah, and that is one thing this game does well, is the space trucking. If all you want to do is fly around, this game is great at that.
Now, the sad part is I had actually accepted another one of these missions, but we don't have to do it.
Can you check my outfitting real quick on some of this stuff?
I'm heading to Sinbad's refuge.
The other nice thing is when you go to turn in a mission, you get to pick one of 3 rewards.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's a nice new thing that they did, because it was like if you were flying a ship and you didn't have cargo space, and then they're like, you can't turn it in because you can't accept the reward that you don't want, and now you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I believe one of the rewards is just always money.
Yep. Yeah, you can do just straight cash value of the things it was going to
One of them's probably going to be some bullshit cargo reward, and another one is generally something with either influence or reputation.
Wow.
Now, if you
the massacre thing that I've got is actually a combat zone deal.
How many is it?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah, that's something to look at before you pick it up.
So if you select
175.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
175 what?
We have to kill 175 enemy ships
as a wing
in order to turn that mission in.
I can't imagine that's horrible.
Great.
How
many days?
It's actually not. I mean, that's not bad if you're talking about a wing with 4 like decent combat oriented ships.
Yeah, it just takes long enough for them to spawn. That's the problem.
Well, in combat zones, they're pretty much infinite spawns.
I'm going to let this thing auto-dock so I can accept this mission.
You got an auto-dock on that thing?
Why not? Sometimes I'm impatient.
I want auto-undock for this Anaconda, because I have so much trouble getting that thing out the door. Because you have to be really close to the top of the door anyway, because the cabin's like way at the top of the ship. But too close and you get hung, and then bad things happen.
So, Teeth, we have a question in YouTube. Is the update patch as awesome as they've made it out to be? You're probably the best one to answer that. Dennis.
Well, I mean, I haven't had a whole lot of time to really play around with it. I got home maybe like 2 hours before we started the stream, and I started doing some engineer stuff. But, you know, like the wing missions seem really cool. The engineer update's cool. The material trader, the individual inventory for materials is really awesome. It's just a lot of really small quality of life things that they added in.
Yeah, what's the deal with the inventory thing for the materials stuff?
So instead of having like one big pool, like say your inventory used to only hold like 1,000, now it's per material.
Oh.
So you can have 300 of one thing, 300 of another thing. It's done by grade. Like a grade 1 item, which is more common, you can hold 300 of, and a grade 5, which is the rarest, is you can hold 100 of. And that kind of goes in 550 increments in between.
How do I accept the mission? How do I finish it?
I wonder if do you guys just do it from your transactions tab?
I cannot.
Well, we have to land at Sinbad's.
I have,
well,
and
Well,
I'm about to dock, so I can.
You might have to go to the office.
I might have to hang on. There it is.
You should just be able to do it on the mission board. It should be at the one of the top missions on the mission board. You might just have to change faction, though.
Huh? Hang on. So it's United Nutari Bureau. It's not here. Requirements not met. Available missions. Yeah, it's not here. Like at all. This is very confusing.
Yeah, do you see the United Nutari Bureau?
Yeah, I've selected them and
At the very top, do you not have hand-in mission?
no. I do not. Is it because I died?
I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that you died, but I thought that didn't matter.
It wouldn't, because it tells me that I can come here and turn it in.
That's what it's telling me.
And I've got the mission objective thing like over the station and everything. So
collect your reward at Sinbad's Refuge. That's where I am.
You have to scroll
There's
up.
another player out here.
whatever happened to Sinbad, man? He hasn't had an HBO special in a long time.
He was such a great comedian. He's probably still around. Mission Giver United New Tari Bureau.
Unless it's waiting for me to turn it in, let me do it real quick.
Yeah, you might have to. I wonder if that's the thing. I wonder if you have to turn it in. You know what? I bet you have to, because you're the one that accepted it. So it's like they won't let me just sit in the station while you do it.
Yeah, but you still get the option to pick your reward, though.
Interesting.
It might even do it while he's in space. I don't know.
All right, I just turned it in.
Okay, I'm looking at the mission
Oh,
board.
wow. I have never done an asteroid base before. This is crazy.
So now that you've turned it in, I can turn it in. Because it's under wing rewards.
Yeah.
So apparently you have to turn it in. And then... Oh,
Get
interesting.
some of that sweet bromelite.
Oh, I see. So you can have different rewards. You get more reputation and less money. Or you get more money. I'll take that one.
Yeah, just do the money one, probably.
That's exactly what I did. So I might do that for my faction back in what's-he-hooey.
Now, how much money did you get?
2 million something?
Okay, so everybody gets the same thing. See, that's what's nice about me doing the missions, is that I get the really nice paying ones. Now,
Oh, and
whether or
so
not
I
we can
wonder-
all do them is a different story, but...
Well, I wonder if we're in a wing, and then you take the mission, and then you just go off and do it and come back. Do we all get paid? Like,
Basically,
is there a
yeah.
requirement we had to go?
You don't really have to be there.
Yeah, see, that's a little weird. I would think, like, community goal, right? Like, you should contribute. That would be kind of interesting, right? Like, if they paid out by percentage of contribution. It's like, if you didn't show up, if you didn't shoot, then tough luck.
Well, I kind of like that everybody just gets paid the same, though.
I do like that.
I understand the point of, everybody should have to contribute.
You got to earn it.
Yeah.
I can take the same mission for 892,000.
But what's interesting, though, is that you could have 4 people each doing their own missions in a wing by themselves, and, everybody just gets extra rewards.
Wow. I just landed and I get $2 million. That's crazy.
Yep.
2,600,000.
Just like real life, it's all about who you know.
So here's one. It's a boom time delivery of 1,192 units of silver for 3 million credits.
See, now these wing missions change things for me. I might start playing more with friends.
I agree. That was
hopefully, and if they do follow through with the deal where they were talking about something that was kind of like guilds, right? That would transform the game massively, because
sure.
then you would actually have like just a damn guild chat going on. That would be great. Oh, I haven't checked out the Galcom thing, because they have the Galcom voice now.
I listened to it for a little bit earlier. It's kind of cool.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah,
I
is
was
it-
listening to it a little bit too. It's kind of nifty.
Where do you pull it up from?
Under the right menu,
Right menu. Yeah, it's under...
under stat, it says buttons on the bottom.
Oh. God damn it.
Oh, weird.
I guess the other thing with the assassination missions is, even though it was a wing of 6 ships that attacked us, we only really have to kill 1.
Oh, so you can kill one, then get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Does
Which
it?
I'm sure I honestly didn't pay attention. I just killed all 6 ships, but
Right.
I'm assuming that the one I need to kill was probably the Anaconda. Oh yeah, I see the delivery of 2,227 units of silver.
Yeah. So I really like the text-to-speech voice that they've got going on there. That's probably one of the best text-to-speech voices that I've heard in a game.
The only thing I don't understand is the mission rewards that give you random amounts of cargo. Like, what exactly am I going to do with 26 tons of platinum? Like, other than just sell it somewhere else?
Right. So they just give me the money.
Like, I like that that some of them give you engineer materials, which is really nice. I just don't understand the cargo reward. Now, so some of the cargo rewards you need for engineers to unlock them, but something like platinum, I guess what you could do is there might be like a mining mission where you have to like turn in so much tons of platinum or something. Like you could kind of chain missions together maybe by doing something like that.
So unless I took it off, I have a repair drone thing. And I'm curious, like, do they just repair me? Will they repair everybody in the wing?
I
Not
can't.
sure.
I cannot seem to leave this asteroid field. Like I jump out and I jump back, no matter what.
You want to make sure you're like perpendicular with it.
Perpendicular with it.
Like you're not trying to jump like across the wing. You want to jump away from it.
That's what I'm trying to do. And every time I do, it jumps me right back in. It's very frustrating. Like I'm trying to get to this station, and I just can't fucking do
Oh,
it.
it's because if you're in the asteroid station going to Parmitano, that pretty much requires you to super cruise like on top of the ring. You need to go like above the ring a little bit.
That's what I'm... Oh my god. Okay. That's exactly what I've been trying to fucking do for the last 5 minutes. Sorry.
I'm not
Not your
watching
fault.
the stream. So I
Not
have no
your-
idea what you're doing.
Not your fault.
These trade missions could be interesting because like a little over 2,000 units isn't that much when you're talking about something like a Type 9 or a cutter. And like the money reward's like $5 million, so the payout's not too bad.
Is that a wing mission?
Yeah. I'm not going to do it right now because it would probably be better if you guys had bigger ships that could haul more cargo.
Yeah, the biggest thing I have is an asp.
They did buff the Type 9.
God damn it.
Yeah, you got like yet another like size 8 slot.
It technically, I'm going to quote, technically actually hauls the most cargo now if you want to put a shield on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very neck and neck with the cutter. You pretty much have to put a Class 6 shield on a cutter and a Class 5 shield on the Type 9. So if you fit everything else with cargo bays, the Type 9 hauls like 4 more tons or something. With that being said, you used to be able to engineer a Class 5 shield to fit on a cutter, but I don't think you can do that anymore. So basically, the Type 9 hauls the most.
Which is good, because that's where it should be. It was always weird to me, like, you know, it's like, well, you could have a Type 9, but, oh, I could get an Anaconda and haul more. And it's like, weird.
Yeah, like it look like the Anaconda to me seems like something bred for combat, not for cargo hauling.
I'm not really sure what it's for, because combat isn't its strong suit either.
Well, it actually has the most potential DPS of any ship in the game. Like, because of those 3 large hard points it has, you can actually do quite a bit of damage with it, even compared to a cutter or a corvette. My grievance with the Anaconda is it has a really low bullshit hull mass, which is why it gets really great jump range. But it's a little bit too versatile. Like you could literally buy an Anaconda, and that could be your in-game ship, and you can do literally everything with it, and it'll do it great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of that way with the Python. Like the Python's my comfort zone because the Anaconda, I don't know, it's like too fat of a ship for me.
Oh, the Python's great.
The weapon arcs are just not great. But anyway, I'm going to go hunt for that combat zone and see what's going on in there, unless you guys want to do something else.
1 second.
I actually have to go early. Something has come up.
Are you actually going to stay on long enough to destroy 175 ships?
Oh God, no.
I'm jumping to a whole nother system.
You do have 6 days to do it, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
The mission that I picked up was like 24 hours.
I just jumped to another system and I'm going to jump back because that was fucking infuriating.
Yeah, I'll have to watch back on the stream just to see what you were doing. But like, I just left the asteroid station and I'm trying to dock at Parmitano. If I go straight for Parmitano, it's going to do the same thing that just happened to you. I need to fly perpendicular from the wing and go into super cruise for a couple of seconds to get above the wing enough where it's not going to do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do. And it jumped me out and then back, and then it jumped, then back.
Oh, you know why? Because you had the wingman lock on. That's why.
What?
Because because if you have wingman nav lock on, it drops you out of super cruise wherever your wingman is.
Are you fucking kidding me?
If you're trying to leave the station where he's at, you get a rubber band.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's hilarious, actually.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's stupid, but it's hilarious.
It's so stupid.
Imagine if you were trying to run away from combat because your ass was on fire and you still had your wingman nav lock on and it was like, psych, and then you explode.
Yeah, you're running away from combat because your vulture canopy blew and you have 5 minutes of air left.
Oh, that was kind of infuriating. Yeah, right? Oh my god.
By the way, if you've never done it, you should definitely fly a vulture and get your canopy blown out and try to fly without a canopy.
I have done it. It's awful because you hear your pilot breathing and you can't really see.
You can't tell the range till you drop out.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
So that's when that automatic landing computer pays for itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to try to land that crap with no canopy.
It is a handy thing to have.
It's not impossible though.
It's not impossible. It's just highly.
It depends on how blown your
obnoxious.
canopy is, because you can kind of look to the side and you can kind of get some of the HUD.
Yeah, but that's kind of vulture kryptonite, right? It's like that thing. It's built like a brick, but it's got I would say a glass canopy.
Well, if you want to think about it, and this might go back to the whole 1984 thing, is that we're flying ships with actual windows instead of just like
armor plate and cameras.
Yeah.
That's why that's one of the reasons Eve kind of makes more sense to me these days. It's like this might be how we fly ships in the future. We're not looking out fucking windows. We're fucking using sensors to tell us what's around us.
I was thinking about Eve today and the clone thing and that, and it was just like, hey, if you wanted to re-roll your character, could it be like that mech game where you had the clone pilots and you would just like melt them down into goop and then make another pilot? What the hell was that called? It was one of the Cyberstorm
Mission
things.
Force Cyberstorm.
Yeah.
I love that game so much. Now, I was thinking multiplicity. Like, if you clone yourself too much, you're making a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah, it's like a VHS tape. You just get crappier every time.
Exactly. So don't die because Your clone will eventually stink.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Just gonna let the auto dock thing do it.
Okay, so we have to massacre Nutari Creative Industries.
Oh wow!
What does that
Here's
mean?
a
What does that mean exactly?
$7 million mission to destroy 234 ships.
Jesus Christmas.
Now you see, I could totally see spending an evening with like 3 guys and just shooting 200 ships for that much money. I mean, it's not a bad payout. I mean, shooting that many ships might get old after a while, though. It's kind of a shooting fish in a barrel thing. Oh,
well,
wait.
that's the thing, right? Is like, what's the challenge level of these ships?
Here's one that's 8.7 million for 279 ships.
Jesus Christmas.
But I mean, the cool thing is, it gives you a week to do it, so you don't even have to do it in a single evening. But that, I mean,
you are making a commitment though. But that's probably what the game wants.
When it gets down to it, it's not really that much money compared to the amount of work you have to put into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is something that gives you a little bit of an objective. It kind of depends on what the other rewards are too, though. Like some of the engineer materials are, kind of a pain in the ass to get. But a lot of these are for exquisite focus crystals, which is one of the most rare things to get.
They don't have a vulture here. That's annoying.
Wow, what?
What?
$19 million for 2,307 microcontrollers.
19 million for what?
If we deliver 2,300 microcontrollers.
19 million. That is a lot.
Let me see where.
19 million 4 ways, right?
Yeah,
or is that,
that's 19.
Is it split, or that's 19
that's
to
19
everybody?
million per person.
Damn.
Let me see where the nearest station with microcontrollers is.
Let me see where the nearest station with a Type 9 is. Because we're going to get rich. Oh, man. That's going to get exploited all to shit, man. You're going to see people with Type 9s taking those giant haul missions. Because you can make multiple trips. So I could solo that. Type 9 holds how much cargo?
Roughly about 750-ish.
So 3 trips and you're done.
Basically. You have to source it, so you have to source the material, so you have to figure out how far away you have to go to get it. I'm looking it up now. Oh wait, I don't know. Does the Galaxy map give you a way to find stuff now?
Not really. Well, yeah, actually, it does. I lied. So you set the commodity in the drop-down thing, and then it will put a green triangle anywhere you can source it, and a blue triangle anywhere you can source it.
Okay, I got you.
That's very helpful. Very, very. Now there's like a reason to purchase commodity data, which is crazy. I'm really glad that they finally got around to that.
Hey, there's some in Jump Away in HR 1257.
So what's happening?
The green triangle means they're exporting it, which means you buy from there, right?
Yeah.
I'm switching to another ship just out of sheer curiosity.
I guess it doesn't tell you how many it gives you a price, but I guess it doesn't tell you how much it has in stock. It's cool though because you can actually plot route to the station that has what you're looking for straight from the galaxy map without having to go into the system map to pick the station. What's the time limit on this mission? Okay, the time limit on this mission is 1 day.
Okay.
What's cargo can your Anaconda hold, Jim?
If I could buy cargo racks, I can do pretty good, but I'm not sure right now. I've got it set for like 200.
Is Parmitano should have cargo racks.
Hopefully.
It doesn't have a whole lot of most things, but cargo racks are fairly basic. I think I'm going to accept this mission.
I think the big question is, do they sell Type 9s? Because I could get rid of this Anaconda and not cry.
No.
Alright, now I'm gonna cry.
They actually sell Anacondas, though. I do plan on getting a Type 9, but for now I'm probably going to use my cutter.
Yeah, well, you get a pretty respectable amount out of a cutter.
Yeah, I mean, in actuality, if you compare the cutter to the Type 9, you're literally talking like 4 tons. Oh, they also doubled the amount of space you can use to store modules now.
Oh, that's cool. I just wish that you could dock a ship with crap in the cargo bay and not have to sweat it, you know? That would be nice.
Well, I do believe they should give you some kind of way to store like a small amount of commodities. I think the reason why they don't want you to be able to store stuff in your ship is because large amount of commodities can really mess up the background simulation or something to that extent.
Yeah, but then if you let somebody stash stuff in a locker, it would also, right?
Well, I don't like. My thought was like 50 tons because some of the engineer unlocks you have to have like 10 tons of something or 50 tons of something. I don't know if 50 tons of something's gonna mess everything up.
I don't think that would be bad for the background simulation. I mean, when you consider it's meant for like thousands of players to be doing like community goal crap, because it takes a community goal to really dry out the market on anything, right? So I see that it would be something that the economy would recover from pretty fast.
Except that station that produced like millions of tons of tea.
Yeah. Yeah, they sure did have a lot of tea there.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So now I'm in a Viper because I wanted to fly this thing around. Gonna sell that Cobra Mark III.
Yeah, with a class 6 shield and the rest cargo, I can hold 728 tons.
Yeah, see, anything that they can do to promote just cooperative play like this, because this is much more fun. Like if I was playing this just alone, I would have probably been like, that's neat, all right, whatever.
You would have noped out by now.
Yeah, I'd have been like, man, I got stuff I got to do in Eve, but yeah, I'm having fun, and it's not like we're doing anything really intense or whatever. It's just like,
look at that. If you look at your transaction tab, there's a progress bar there.
oh, cool.
Oh, I gotta share the mission first. accept it, and then look at it.
Ooh, oh boy, whoa, oh my God. Okay, this Viper is a lot more springy than the Cobra was. Okay.
Yeah, the Cobra's kind of slow compared to that thing.
Yeah, I wish that they would make the Cobra more useful, maybe by making other ships less useful. You know what I mean?
The Cobra's really, at its price range, it's good, but once you get past it, it's pretty useless because it doesn't have a real good jump range, and that's like one thing that I really would look for in other ships is something that could jump good.
Yeah, it should be like the smaller the ship, the better the jump range, really. Like to a curve, right? Like the Cobra and the Asp should be like the best damn jump range because they're that middle ship, right? Where it's got enough room. It's got enough room to put a drive, but it's not a fat ship, so therefore it should get really good, like courier kind of jumping.
I'm gonna head to a resource extraction site just to look around. I mean, if I get killed, the rebuy value of this is 206,000 credits. Yeah, I can afford to.
How much money do you have?
26 million.
About to say, if you give me long enough, I can double that.
How much time do you need?
I don't know. It depends on how many cargo bays I can cram in this bitch.
Yeah, I mean, if Jim can do one run, I can do 2 runs, and that'll probably be it.
Is that like an evening thing or a multi-day thing, or
like I'm doing it right now?
Oh, okay.
I can literally, I just jump to the station that's produces the item that Parmitano needs. I need like 2,200 of it.
Okay.
And my ship holds 700.
Too close to what? What am I too close to?
There might actually be a need for a 4th run. Let me do some math. It's like right on the border.
I don't know, Will, if the loadout variation here is more varied than Eve. I think it just looks different. Because there's a fuck ton of pieces of equipment in Eve. And I miss the fitting tool in Eve. I really miss it right now. I'll be honest. But I gotta say, these wing missions, I think, are going a long way to alleviating, like, one of the big complaints we've had about this game is, like, you can select them. Like, for the longest time, if, like, one person in a wing selected a mission, okay. You know, that's it. You know, but now we have these shared goals. That's kind of huge. I mean, they made this massively multiplayer game, and we're all like, yes, we are all individuals, and like, that's not how these things work. Like, part of me feels like Elite probably would have been better served if they kept it a single-player game. It doesn't need to be multiplayer. Like, at all. I don't think.
I'm kind of glad it's multiplayer, though.
I just think it's...
I mean, I could definitely get where people are, might say, well, clearly it's a single-player game with multiplayer tacked on.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I do like the multiplayer that is here, even though it is somewhat lacking.
Right. I worry that it's that it kind of hobbles the development of the game, though.
Yeah, I feel that too, because it's like they made it multiplayer, but they kind of middle did it, so it's like a single player game with the flaws of an MMO, but you don't get the benefits of it really.
What they did is they designed it around a peer-to-peer network infrastructure, which I believe was probably the dumbest thing they could have done.
Oh my god, I still can't believe they did that. Like, one of the great things about Jumpgate and Eve is that it's a shared universe, so you can run into other people. There's no instancing. There really isn't, like, much instancing, Like, yes, every system is an instance in Jumpgate or Eve, but that's a whole system, not just like, oh, if I jump to a station, you jump to a station, I might not see you.
You know, I think when this game is going to finally come into its own is years from now, when this server's down and people figure out how to emulate a private server, and then they can do what they want. Then you'll see some shit.
Oh,
I
Will.
think that's fair.
Yeah, Will in YouTube says he's still doing the early game career path agents in Eve. It's like, yeah, keep doing that, Will. That'll really get you. That'll really help the game click for you.
Absolutely.
Oh, are you shitting me? I thought that this station, it has 33 of these things.
I'm not.
And we need how many thousand? 2,300?
Yeah, we better find elsewhere.
Yeah, here's another one. There has to be some indicator on the supply of something. Maybe I'm just not seeing it.
It's just a shame that the market tools in this game are still so lacking. Like, they have to rely on third-party websites and pilots actually giving those websites information.
Yeah, they should treat it like Eve, right? Where you get the region around you. You don't get like the whole frickin' galaxy, but you get like the 4 or 5 or 8 stars that are right around.
Because that
would be cool.
There's a galactic internet. Okay, let's see what's going on at this extraction site.
Yeah, it looks like it does prices, but it doesn't tell you supply, which is kind of important if you're trying to fly somewhere to get a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, like you're trying to get 2,300 units of something. 2,300.
Several.
Yeah, like you go to a station, how many did you just find? 8? 9? It's like, yeah, you're not doing that tonight. So, folks, we're going to start wrapping up. I think I hope we've been successful in relaying that we want to love this game. We really do want to love Elite. And I think these shared missions are a big step in the right direction. These new wing missions are definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, so check back with us in 4 years.
Yeah.
And we'll finally made it.
We'll have another show about Elite in 4 years, where maybe we can land on planets with atmosphere that have cities and stuff.
Man, you don't know how much I pray that never happens.
What?
We don't need atmospheric landing BS. That's yet another one of those like things that people in the forum are like, ooh, we want that. And it's like, man, we got the moon landing stuff, and that was not fun. Right? You know, it was like, well, you can drive around in a golf cart and shoot rocks. Yeah. So they still haven't figured out what to do with that, like 2 years after they put it in. I don't know. It's a thing that they put so much development time in, and it's just something I just absolutely have no desire to do at all. Like, you do it, and it's like, that was cool. I did it. Don't ever need to do it again.
Right.
But unless you're a material farmer, then you have to. But that's its own thing.
But it works in like Evacron, where you have bases on the planets that give you like different missions and whatnot. I mean, I think
it's just.
Oh, and that's kind of the thing, is landing on a planet is difficult enough that it's just a lot easier to dock at a space station. And there's really, aside from the engineer bases, there's really no reason to specifically use planetary stations. You might as well just go to the ones in space. There's a few star systems out there that might only have planetary bases, but they're very few.
Yeah, I mean, you can get away with it, like, in the lore. Just say, you get ships with these giant atomic drives taken off and landing in the atmosphere.
I can give you an example.
Kill everybody. So
this other station that I'm going to find these things that I need is actually on a planet.
Oh, jeez.
I wasn't paying attention to it until I started like flying towards a planet. And I was like, oh yeah, this is a planetary base. At least they're not shades of beige anymore, which is really nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they said they did something about the SRB missions where they changed the distribution of materials.
They changed the textures on the planet so they don't look as bland anymore.
Oh, that's good.
Because most of them are various shades of like beige, and now they're, I guess they're probably more natural looking.
Whew. Okay, that was fun. I just took out an eagle that was wanted. Don't worry, I scanned it first.
What kind of weapons are you using?
Just pulse lasers. Gimbaled pulse lasers.
At least use some multi-cannons.
I wanted to try something a little different. That's my usual go-to, is a mix of lasers and multi-cannons.
If you want to try something different, use frag cannons.
Frag cannons?
Nothing like a good space shotgun.
Yeah, they're behind dumbfire missiles. I think they're the highest DPS in the game.
Oh, jeez. Okay, Mr. James Bradley, you are wanted, and I have kill scanned you, so die!
I'm still not used to the bases saying Delta Echo November instead of Tango Echo Echo.
What does that mean? What?
Because I changed my name.
Right.
The call sign it gives you is the first 3 letters of your name.
Right.
You can change that to either your ship name or your ship ID now.
Oh, that's cool.
So you could name a ship like WTF and change that setting, and then when you go to dock, the dock commander is going to be like, "Welcome back, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot."
Nice.
So, whenever I look on the map, I see 2 triangles.
Yeah.
But they're both gray. So, I wonder if that means that they're both out of stock. It's like we do sell it, but we don't have it.
Now, here's the thing. I'm in this asteroid field. There are other people mining. And there's, like, no way to clean this asteroid field out. Like, wouldn't it be great if I could make it safe for, like, a day or something?
I think it would be great if the frickin' asteroids disappeared once they were, like, mined out.
Oh, that's a good point.
Go back and try to remine them again.
That's a good point.
There's just something about when we're in Eve, man, and we got, like, a massive fleet, like 10 Hulks out there, and we're sucking down asteroids. It's like Pac-Man. And then they're gone.
Yeah.
Well, the stations are dead.
But I mean, there's no, like, you can't. That is this game's big problem, folks. Is right now you can't affect much beyond yourself and your wing. That's really it, and it's just really a shame because it's this. I'll show you again on the map. This huge universe, like massive universe, and the only thing we can really affect is power play and the background simulation for, like factions and whatnot. And it just, Wing missions help. This is a step in the right direction, but more needs to be done, I think, for this to really be an exceptional game. And you could say, well, Star System's going to come out and blow it away. Yeah. Yeah, sure it is. Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay, here's where we want to go. Is HIP 19767.
Yeah, I just looked it up on EDDB.
So, folks, we're going to wrap up. So I think, I think basically what we've learned tonight is there's progress that's been made, but more needs to be done with Elite here. Now, just a couple quick programming notes. Thursday night for our LAN party, we're going to be returning to Guns of Icarus Alliance. We haven't played that in a while because there's so many games and we kind of forgot about it. And, they keep updating it, so we're like, we should give it another go. We should give it another go and see how well it's been doing and if it's fun, because, it needs more players. It's a multiplayer game, it needs more players. And then next week we have off because I'm getting dental surgery on Friday, and I don't know what the recovery is going to be like. So that week is nothing at all next week. So thank you everyone for listening and watching and for your input. Everyone in the chat, we really appreciate you chiming in. And most of all, we appreciate our Patreon subscribers because you guys help pay for the hosting that hosts the MP3s of this podcast and other things that we need to pay for. So I want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for subscribing. You guys are awesome.
If we ever get enough money from Patreon that I can afford a private island, I will throw a party for all of our Patreon people on my private island. I
think we'd all have to quit our jobs and start begging every day, and I'm not willing to do that. I like having health insurance. So yeah, I think some of us might be playing Elite a little bit more after these wing missions, because these are kind of a big step, at least until we get tired of this and stop playing. But
because that'll happen.
Yeah, but we've been playing a lot of Eve and some other games, so please join us on Discord if you want to play with us. There's a link on the webs on SpaceGameJunkie.com, or underneath the YouTube video here, or on our Facebook. But we have a very active community full of awesome people, and now I'm rambling because I'm tired. But thank you everyone for listening and watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Remember, we are off next week, so we'll see you in 2 weeks. Fly safe and have a great night. Bye-bye.